Hey everyone, it's Neil Patel and welcome to another day of e-commerce unlocked. Today we're going to be talking about additional marketing channels, the ones outside of Facebook ads, Google ads, or even Bing ads. They're all great and we covered those in our previous lesson, but today we're going to be covering other marketing channels. And one of your highest converting marketing channels, if not your highest marketing converting channel, is going to be email. I know email, it sounds like this archaic thing, but over 3.9 billion people in this world use email. That's pretty much half the population. And all the big e-commerce companies that I've consulted and worked with over the years, they all tell me one thing. Email is their number one channel. So make sure you go and use email. Your email funnel and your workflow is going to be complex over time, but you don't need to worry about this in the beginning. We're going to start you off really simple. And over time, you can continually add to your email sequence, your flows. It doesn't matter what email provider you're using. I'm going to show you where you should get started. The easiest wins with email are cart abandonment, someone going to your checkout page and not buying, getting them back and in essence, getting them to buy. Typically, you can get a 10% win there. Another easy win is just bringing people back to your website. Who are the people who have bought from you 3, 4, 5 months ago and haven't come back? Getting those people to come back is another easy win. And of course, there's customer nurturing as well, continually educating, helping them out so that way you build brand loyalty and you can get them to come back. So let's go over some email examples that you could end up leveraging. So here's one at Reserve Bar, right? They're offering 10% off coupon. What they end up doing is if you don't end up purchasing, they'll end up sending you, and you abandon cart in essence, they'll send you an email 4 hours later trying to get you back, 16 hours later, 2 days later, and they try to do a coupon to help close the sale. It's an effective strategy that you need to test out. Here's an example of a win back email. This one's from Blue Apron. So typically if you've been purchasing from them for 3-4 months and then something happens like your card stops, they'll end up sending you an email directly right away to try to win you back, and even 2 days later. It doesn't have to be the funnest email. You can spice it up if you want and show your personality, but something is better than nothing. Here's one on customer nurturing. These guys send an email right away. 2 days later and 4 days later, they tell customers how to use their product in the best way possible. So they have an amazing experience, tell other people about it, and they keep coming back to buying more and more. There's a lot of best email practices. I can keep going on and on with lists and lists, but I'm going to point out a few. I'm not going to read all of them off the screen, but I'm going to point out a few that you really need to focus on. The first is don't use no reply in your email address. Make it a person or make it something related to your company name. You can even do support, but typically if it's a person, that's even better, or a mascot. And try to send your emails in the morning. That tends to produce better open rates. And of course, personalize your subject line as well as your email with their name. That also helps as well. There's a lot of ways that you can end up generating sales through email. For example, you can end up doing things like back to school campaigns, winter holidays. Of course, there's Cyber Monday and Black Friday, which everyone knows about, but I want to show how there's many other opportunities to generate sales as well. Here's an example of a back to school email, something that shows the images, looks good. You know, the average back to school shopper is spending roughly $696.70. That's a lot of money. You want to capture that and you want that money to come to you. And now let's look at back to college. If you look at back to college, they're spending even more, $976 roughly each and every single year. Now, when you look at the whole K through 12 market and you combine that with back to college, it's roughly $80.7 billion. That's a ton of money that you're leaving on the table if you don't go after them. There's, of course, winter holidays. The average person is spending $1,000+. Holiday retail sales have grown to over $730 billion with a B. That's a ton of money. So make sure you're leveraging those holiday promotions as well. And on top of sending emails out there, you want to make sure you have a strong top of funnel. That's where you're driving people to your site. And that's what we covered in the last lesson: Facebook ads, Google ads, and even Bing ads. But there's more options as well, like YouTube ads. Now with YouTube ads, if you end up having them, it ends up balancing out your portfolio and can drive you extra sales. It won't be as good as, let's say, Google or Facebook, but it does add up. So make sure you create your YouTube ad campaign, get started. And when you're setting things up, pick your products that you want to advertise, but there's something that you need to be really important of. You want to make sure the placement of these ads are in good areas and channels that you would approve of versus something that doesn't go with your message. Now, instead of going to each of these channels really in depth, I have worksheets for you so you'll be able to download them. But with YouTube, it's another alternative channel, has tons of engagement, and you can also start going one level deeper and doing Gmail ads as well on top of YouTube. But try out all the channels that Google has to offer because they are effective and they can drive quite a bit of sales. Go to neilpatel.com/training, click on eCommerce Unlocked, go to week 4, lesson 2. You'll find the YouTube ad resource there. The next one is Instagram ads. I love it. They ended up buying this company for pretty much around $1 billion, and they now say it's worth over $100 billion, which is ridiculous. And it makes sense because it's one of the most popular sites on the web. The total number of active monthly users is over 1 billion, which is a large portion of the world's population. So it's extremely powerful. And make sure you're going after Instagram ads as well. There's many options for Instagram. Even if you don't have ad money, you can put links within your bio, or you can end up putting @ and linking to your other profiles for specific products or other e-commerce brands if it's your personal profile. A lot of times I like using bit.ly links because I can send people to recipes or deals or even white paper if you're in B2B. It's all super effective for lead generation. When you're creating an Instagram ad, make sure you fill out your profile completely. You're going to have to run your ads through Facebook, and that's how you set them up on Instagram because it's owned by the same company. And you'll determine your budget and you push it. And again, it's super effective. One thing before I give you the Instagram worksheet, I want you to know is if you respond to comments and you engage and you really care about your customers, you're going to do much better. Even if your comment is a simple emoji, something's better than nothing. Really push on the engagement part because that's what Instagram is looking for. Again, you can get resources at neilpatel.com/training. Click on eCommerce Unlocked. Week 4, lesson 2, click on Instagram ads. And of course, there's Etsy. We covered some of these stats in the past lesson. They do over $700 million a year in revenue. They have a lot of active users in the hundreds of millions per month. They also have over 2.5 million sellers, 7 million active advertisers, and is much less competitive than Facebook. Doesn't drive the volume as Facebook, but it's still highly profitable and worth going after. Setting up ads is easy. You click on Etsy.com, click on the account icon, then go to Shop Manager. Then click on marketing, then click advertising, set your daily budgets, and then you just click start advertising. And I know I went through that pretty quickly, but that's because we have a whole resource on this that teach you how to do everything step by step at neilpatel.com/training or lesson 2. I want you, no matter what platform you're using, to run tests. And you can do this through Crazy Egg. You want to optimize your landing pages, your sites, because if you optimize your landing pages and sites, what you'll find is instead of 100 or 1 out of every 100 people converting, maybe you can get 2 out of every 100. That's double the sales. Doesn't seem like a big number, but through A/B testing, you can increase your sales, and tools like Crazy Egg will walk you through how to do that step by step. So that's it. I want you to go to neilpatel.com/training, eCommerce Unlocked. Again, week 4, lesson 2. And I want you to download the following sheets, the ones that we covered with each platform, plus the ad audit checklist. And as I mentioned, download the ad resource guides for each platform so you can set them up. Thank you very much, and I look forward to helping you get more e-commerce sales.